Hey folks, and welcome back to the Slow Dusk channel. Today we're exploring how the Western genre has evolved in the 21st century with 6 incredible modern Western films that have redefined what a frontier story can be. While classic Westerns established the iconography we all know, dusty towns, gunfights at high noon, and moral struggles on the frontier, contemporary filmmakers have reimagined these elements for modern audiences. These newer Westerns often explore complex moral territory, challenge traditional Western myths, and bring fresh perspectives to a genre with deep American roots. For this countdown, we've selected 6 standout modern Westerns based on their critical acclaim, innovative storytelling approaches, and cultural impact. Each film demonstrates how the Western continues to be a powerful vehicle for exploring timeless themes through a contemporary lens. And of course, we've included timestamps for key scenes if you want to revisit these remarkable moments in modern Western cinema. So strap yourselves in and join us as we explore 6 incredible modern Western movies that prove this genre is far from riding off into the sunset. Our countdown begins with Taylor Sheridan's haunting crime thriller Wind River, set on the eponymous Native American reservation in Wyoming. While not a Western in the traditional sense, this film embodies the neo-Western approach by transposing frontier themes to a contemporary setting. The story follows wildlife officer Corey Lambert, Jeremy Renner, who discovers the body of a young Native American woman, and teams up with rookie FBI agent Jane Banner, Elizabeth Olsen, to solve the murder. What unfolds is a gripping investigation that reveals deeper truths about justice, survival, and the forgotten corners of America. The scene at the 1-hour 22-minute mark showcases the film's brutal climax, a standoff at the drilling camp that reveals the truth behind the murder. What makes this sequence so powerful is how Sheridan builds tension through dialogue before erupting into violence. The wide shots of snow-covered landscapes, juxtaposed with tight claustrophobic framing during the confrontation, creates a visual language that honors Western traditions while feeling thoroughly modern. What elevates Wind River beyond a standard crime thriller is its unflinching examination of the epidemic of missing and murdered Indigenous women. Sheridan doesn't shy away from showing how jurisdictional complications and institutional neglect create environments where justice is elusive. The film ends with the sobering statistic that no records are kept for missing Native American women, a fact that gives this fictional story devastating real-world context. Behind the scenes, Sheridan worked closely with the Eastern Shoshone and Northern Arapaho nations to ensure authentic representation. The film was shot on location in Utah and Wyoming during a genuine winter, with temperatures often dropping below zero, conditions that the cast and crew used to inform their performances and visual approach. Wind River completes what Sheridan calls his frontier trilogy, alongside his screenplays for Sicario and Hell or High Water, establishing him as one of the most important voices in modern Western storytelling. Its unforgettable combination of thriller elements with Western themes of justice and survival in harsh environments makes it a perfect entry point into our exploration of modern Westerns. At number 5, we have the Coen brothers' masterful adaptation of Charles Portis's novel, True Grit. While technically a remake of the 1969 John Wayne film, the Coens returned to the source material to create something that feels both classically Western and distinctly modern in its execution. The story follows 14-year-old Maddie Ross, Haley Steinfeld, who hires grizzled U.S. Marshal Rooster Cogburn, Jeff Bridges, to track down Tom Chaney, Josh Brolin, the man who murdered her father. They're joined by Texas Ranger LaBeef, Matt Damon, creating an unlikely trio pursuing justice across the frontier. The scene at the 1-hour, 42-minute mark showcases the film's emotional climax, Maddie's confrontation with Chaney at the river. What makes this sequence so powerful is how it pays off Maddie's determination throughout the film. After all her preparation and insistence on joining the manhunt, she finally faces her father's killer alone. The Coens frame this moment with breathtaking visual clarity. The river crossing, the sudden appearance of Chaney, and Maddie's decisive action all unfold with precision that honors classic Western filmmaking while feeling thoroughly contemporary. What distinguishes this adaptation is the Coens' commitment to the novel's period-accurate dialogue. The formal, almost biblical cadence of the character's speech creates a sense of time and place that feels both authentic and slightly heightened. Roger Deakins' stunning cinematography captures the harsh winter landscapes with a painterly eye, creating visuals that reference classic Western iconography while maintaining a distinctive look. Behind the scenes, the casting of Haley Steinfeld was crucial to the film's success. Selected from over 15,000 applicants, the then 13-year-old actress brings remarkable poise and determination to Maddie, holding her own against veterans like Bridges and Damon. The Coens insisted on shooting chronologically whenever possible to allow Steinfeld's character development to unfold naturally. True Grit proved that classic Western stories could still resonate with modern audiences when approached with intelligence and craftsmanship. Its commercial success, $252 million worldwide, and critical acclaim, 10 Academy Award nominations, demonstrated that the Western genre remained vital in the 21st century. The film's perfect balance of honoring tradition while bringing fresh perspective makes it an essential modern Western.
Our fourth entry is Quentin Tarantino's blood-soaked chamber piece, The Hateful Eight, which transplants Agatha Christie-style mystery elements into a post-Civil War Western setting. While Tarantino had previously explored the genre with Django Unchained, this film represents his most focused and claustrophobic take on Western themes. The story unfolds like a deadly stage play. 8 strangers seek shelter from a blizzard at Minnie's Haberdashery, a stagecoach lodge in Wyoming. Among them are bounty hunter John Ruth, Kurt Russell, his captive Daisy Domergue, Jennifer Jason Leigh, former Union officer Marquis Warren, Samuel L. Jackson, and supposed sheriff Chris Mannix, Walton Goggins. As the storm rages outside, tensions rise within as it becomes clear not everyone is who they claim to be. The scene at the 1 hour 35-minute mark represents the film's crucial turning point, the poisoned coffee sequence that dramatically shifts the narrative. What makes this moment so effective is Tarantino's masterful building of tension through dialogue and small details, culminating in a shocking act of violence that changes everything we thought we knew about the situation. The director's signature chapter structure allows this moment to serve as a devastating intermission before the film's even bloodier second half. What elevates The Hateful Eight beyond pastiche is how it uses its Western setting to explore America's unhealed wounds following the Civil War. The racial tensions between Warren and the former Confederates, particularly through Warren's provocative Lincoln Letter, create a microcosm of a nation still grappling with its divided identity. Tarantino uses the Western genre's moral ambiguity to question whether justice and vengeance can ever truly be separated. The Hateful Eight represents Tarantino's most explicit engagement with Western conventions, while simultaneously subverting them. Its combination of traditional Western elements with mystery, horror, and pitch-black comedy creates something that feels both reverential to the genre and entirely unique. At number 3, we have David Mackenzie's Hell or High Water, a modern-day Western that transplants frontier justice themes to post-recession Texas. Written by Taylor Sheridan, who also wrote Wind River, this film demonstrates how Western storytelling can directly address contemporary American issues. The story follows brothers Toby, Chris Pine, and Tanner Howard, Ben Foster, as they execute a series of carefully planned bank robberies to save their family ranch from foreclosure. Hot on their trail are Texas Rangers Marcus Hamilton, Jeff Bridges, and Alberto Parker, Gil Birmingham, creating a cat-and-mouse game across the sun-baked landscapes of West Texas. The scene at the 1 hour 5-minute mark, the now famous T-Bone Steak restaurant confrontation, perfectly encapsulates the film's unique tone. When Hamilton and Parker stop for lunch, they encounter a waitress, Margaret Bowman, whose no-nonsense attitude and limited menu options create a moment of unexpected humor amidst the tension. What makes this scene so effective is how it uses a seemingly minor interaction to illuminate the film's setting, a hardscrabble world where people speak directly and options are limited. What distinguishes Hell or High Water is how it recontextualizes Western themes for the 21st century. The banks are the new villains, foreclosing on family lands and exploiting economic hardship. The Howard brothers become modern-day outlaws whose crimes are portrayed with moral complexity. They're stealing from the institutions that have been stealing from their community for years. Meanwhile, Hamilton represents the old guard of law enforcement, a man whose time is passing just as surely as the Old West once did. Director David Mackenzie, despite being Scottish, captured the American West with remarkable authenticity, using real locations across New Mexico and Texas to create a vivid sense of place. Cinematographer Giles Nutgens shot the film to emphasize the vast, empty landscapes punctuated by signs of economic decay, abandoned farms, foreclosure notices, and half-empty towns. These visuals reinforce the film's themes of a changing West, where traditional ways of life are threatened by faceless financial institutions. Hell or High Water received universal acclaim and 4 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture. Its perfect balance of action, character study, and social commentary makes it one of the most successful examples of how Western themes can be reimagined to address contemporary concerns. Our runner-up is the Coen brothers' adaptation of Cormac McCarthy's novel No Country for Old Men, a film that redefined what a modern Western could be. While set in 1980 rather than the traditional frontier era, this neo-Western uses its Texas border setting to explore timeless themes of fate, violence, and moral choice. The story begins when Vietnam veteran Llewellyn Moss, Josh Brolin, stumbles upon the aftermath of a drug deal gone wrong and takes a suitcase containing $2 million. This decision puts him in the crosshairs of Anton Chigurh, Javier Bardem, a philosophically minded hitman who pursues Moss with methodical determination. Meanwhile, aging Sheriff Ed Tom Bell, Tommy Lee Jones, follows their trail, increasingly out of his depth in a world where violence seems to have lost all meaning. The scene at the 22-minute mark, Chigurh's coin toss with the gas station attendant, has become one of cinema's most chilling moments. What makes this sequence so effective is its restraint. The Coens build unbearable tension through mundane conversation that gradually reveals the existential threat Chigurh represents. When he asks the attendant to call the coin toss, the stakes become clear. This is literally a matter of life and death, determined by chance rather than moral worth. Bardem's unnervingly calm performance and Roger Deakins' precise framing create a modern Western showdown without a single gun being drawn. What elevates No Country for Old Men is how it subverts Western conventions while honoring the genre's essence. Traditional Western narratives often feature clear moral boundaries and satisfying justice. Here, the Coens present a world where evil seems random and unstoppable, where the sheriff, traditionally the Western's moral center, is left bewildered by the changing nature of violence. The film's controversial ending, which denies viewers the expected final confrontation, reinforces this theme of a world that no longer follows familiar narrative rules. No Country for Old Men won 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, and has been widely recognized as one of the greatest films of the 21st century. Its influence on subsequent Western and crime films cannot be overstated, proving that the Western genre could still produce profound meditations on American violence and morality in contemporary settings. And finally, at number 1, we have Jane Campion's psychological Western masterpiece, The Power of the Dog. Set in 1925 Montana, this film represents the Western genre at its most psychologically complex and visually stunning. The story centers on the wealthy rancher brothers Phil, Benedict Cumberbatch, and George Burbank, Jesse Plemons. When George marries widow Rose, Kirsten Dunst, and brings her and her son Peter, Cody Smith McPhee, to live at the ranch, the cruel and charismatic Phil begins a campaign of psychological torment against them. However, as the story unfolds, unexpected connections form that reveal hidden vulnerabilities and lead to a stunning conclusion. What distinguishes The Power of the Dog is how it deconstructs Western masculinity. Phil Burbank embodies the traditional cowboy archetype, rugged, skilled, and contemptuous of weakness. Yet Campion gradually reveals the pain and repression beneath this facade, particularly through Phil's devotion to his mentor, Bronco Henry. The film explores how the mythic ideal of the cowboy can be both aspiration and prison, forcing men to deny essential parts of themselves. Campion's direction made history when she won the Academy Award for Best Director, making her the first woman to be nominated twice in this category. The film received 12 Oscar nominations overall, confirming its status as a modern classic. Johnny Greenwood's score deserves special mention for how it enhances the psychological tension, using discordant strings to suggest the turbulence beneath the characters' composed exteriors. The Power of the Dog represents the Western genre at its most psychologically sophisticated. By focusing on the interior lives of its characters rather than external action, Campion creates a Western that feels both connected to the genre's traditions and revolutionary in its approach. Its exploration of power dynamics, repressed desire, and the myth of the American West makes it the most impressive modern Western of recent years. From the psychological complexity of The Power of the Dog to the contemporary relevance of Hell or High Water, these 6 films demonstrate how the Western continues to evolve while remaining connected to its roots. What makes these modern Westerns so compelling is how they use frontier settings and themes to explore issues that resonate with today's audiences. Contemporary filmmakers have found that the Western's iconic elements, the struggle between civilization and wilderness, the question of what justice means in lawless spaces, the tension between individual freedom and community responsibility, remain powerful frameworks for examining the human condition. By updating these themes for modern sensibilities, they've ensured the Western remains a vital genre rather than a nostalgic relic. We'd love to hear about your favorite modern Westerns in the comments below. Did your favorites make the list? Are there other recent Western films you think deserve recognition? Let us know your thoughts.
If you enjoyed this exploration of modern Western cinema, please like this video and subscribe to the Slow Dusk channel for more deep dives into classic and contemporary Western films. Until next time, this is Slow Dusk, signing off.